Well, we're pretty geeked for Seahawks Rams Part 3, the trilogy. Some numbers. This is the first ever playoff game between two teams who had two games decided by 2 or less in the regular season. That has never happened. And, of course, the Rams won the first game by 2, and the Seahawks won the second game by 1.
And that second one, I mean, you could make the argument that's the game of the year. I mean, the first one was really good, too, but that second one was
it was awesome.
I mean, including the damnedest two-point conversion I've ever seen in my life that I'm still not certain. Much like the Bills Broncos interception catch thing, I'm still not sure what it was, but that one ended up being the deciding factor in the game.
All time, the Seahawks lead the Rams in the series 29-28. And in those games, the Seahawks have outscored the Rams 1,223 to 1,222.
So this is about as close as you can humanly get.
They have played 57 games. They are separated by 1 game and 1 point.
Yeah. Well, and
now I will say, since McVay has been there, it's been largely Rams. He's won 12 of the 19 meetings that he has played Seattle.
Well, and to be fair, since McVay got there, the Seahawks have been in a bit of a transition. Like when those last days under Pete, it was more of a, I don't know, you were treading, that was like Tomlin's Steelers. Like you were just kind of treading water. You weren't really a threat. The Rams were going to Super Bowls. But now that McDonald's there, I mean, this is turned around, and no offense to the Broncos and Patriots, I still think this is the Super Bowl. I think these are the two best teams left in the tournament. I certainly think with Denver and Stidham, that guy hasn't thrown a pass in 3 years. Patriots obviously deserve a measure of respect if they get there, but I think this is your Super Bowl champion, which is why, again, if you're Seattle, the idea that if you get by the Rams and you're not facing the Josh Allen Bills, the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs, the Tom Brady Patriots, Lamar Jackson. I mean, this is the first AFC title game, I think, 15 years that doesn't involve Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. I mean, there is an opportunity here if you can get by this. It's certainly not a gimme if it's either one of these teams, but you will be the favorite. This is the best year if you're going to get there. This is the best year to get to the Super Bowl against the AFC.
Yeah,
what an opportunity. Look headlines for the Seahawks if they make the Super Bowl versus the Patriots. They'll be 3.5-point favorites. Against the Broncos, 9.5-point favorites.
And the Rams would be favorites over both of them as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, most people have the Rams and Seahawks as the two best teams in the NFL. And, the reality is these teams are pretty dead even. I mean, they're the two best teams, and it comes down to little things. It comes down to variables you can't predict. And that's the beauty of one-off football games. Like, it's a one-and-done tournament. You just never know.
No.
I think the trap that people fall into is looking at how a team is playing and going, oh, my God, no, nobody's going to beat the Seahawks. Well, tell that to the Rams.
Sure.
And so I just think it's going to be awesome, and I really do think it comes down to holding up in pass protection. And if Seattle can, then Sam Darnold can be pretty good. We know this. I mean, we've seen enough of Sam Darnold to know. If the Rams warm him up, watch out. Yeah, because he'll turn it over, and he has. And
6
so
times.
That's the key, and I think that
they haven't gotten to Stafford has not been sacked once in either one of these two games. So,
yeah, that's pretty crazy because the Bears had him.
Yeah,
they did a good job on him, but they still want. Like, that's the thing is Stafford. The Rams are so weird because their defense has not been at the level that it was early in the season. And yet they've just won 2 straight road games, one in overtime in the cold, and nobody really has any faith in them.
Yeah.
It's like they're really good, and they have the pedigree, and they're coming off a game where they didn't play that well, and they know they have to play a lot better. I worry about – I think something to keep an eye on that's interesting is the Seahawks injuries on the offensive line. I mean Charles Cross started last week, but he couldn't finish the game, and he now has a new knee injury, I guess they're talking about, and he's day-to-day. And then Josh Jones did not play last week, and they're saying that he might be back this week, but that's uncertain.
And Charbonnet is obviously out.
Charbonnet's out.
He's done. The other one, too, about this is as stout as the Seahawks defense has been, they have not gotten to Stafford once. And the Rams, despite at times refusing to run the ball, see the Chicago Bears game, and McVay had admitted that. And once in the second half, they were like, hey, guys, we can run. Oh, yeah, that works, our play-action game. They've run the ball very well against the Seahawks in both of these games. The first one, they only ran the ball again 19 times. that's the part that I think is maddening at times with the Rams is they forget that they don't have one, but they have two good running backs, and their offense is way better when they have the run game going and you can work under center, you can work the play action pass. But they have run the ball despite Seattle's defense being really good. They've run the ball really well, and they put up 37 points against you. So as good as this defense is, to your point, the Rams do have the capability to move the ball and put up points.
Well, I just think the reality is they're just a lot better than the Niners and the Panthers.
Yes.
And those are again, we haven't seen since the Rams comeback game, we haven't seen the Seahawks against anybody other than those two teams.
Yes.
Which
can do nothing offensively to even threaten.
Yeah, so I think we get lost in that. Oh, they look so awesome. The Rams are every bit as good as the Seahawks. So,
this is why it could be the game of the year again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would expect it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, these teams aren't going to blow each other out, are they?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, look, we've had two games, and they've both been slugfests, back and forth. I will say that if you watched the two games, the better team is the Rams.
They certainly outplayed them.
They've outplayed them in both of those games, but you got the split, and the Seahawks have a little momentum right now.
So the first one was Darnold turnovers, right?
Yes, and they still were. He turned it over. He had 4 picks, and it still ended up being a very, very close game. And then the second one, they were rolling.
Yeah.
But again, this is my point with the Rams. They kept going down, and they got stopped on downs. They were having to kick field goals. They were missing open plays, and they didn't put Seattle away. And that was a 16-point lead. When Darnold threw that pick with, I want to say 6.5-ish to play, Darnold threw a pick, and you're like, well, that's the end of the game. And then the Rams did what the Rams do, and they just opened the door wide open for you.
In fairness to the Rams, that's the Ravens.
Yes.
That's the Bills.
Yes.
I mean, the only team that hasn't done that is Kansas City.
Yeah.
And that's why they have all the rings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I was talking about this with a friend of mine who's a big Ravens fan over the weekend. We were just watching the games, and I think it was the Bears game. We were watching McVay gack it away after that Caleb Williams prayer throw.
Yeah.
And it's really unbelievable to me how many good teams and coaches, they don't just get beat, they just absolutely blow it.
Yes.
Constantly in the NFL.
Who was it? Someone earlier this year said it. They said you'd be. I'm trying to remember who. Was it Brady? It was a prominent voice that said, or maybe it was Collinsworth. Just said half of the NFL is just not beating yourself and letting the other team do that. And it really is true. In today's NFL, it feels like games are given away as often as teams are won.
But we're talking about comebacks, so it's like even with comebacks, you just let the other teams, you let the team that's in the lead screw it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
Like, seriously, any team, do you trust any team that gets a 16-point lead?
No.
If you're up,
it doesn't feel like these
21 even in the NFL now, you're like, well, maybe one more score.
There's very few teams that I feel like truly have a killer instinct. Now, I will say, a team with a defense like the Texans, if they got up, it feels almost insurmountable because they can pin their ears back and just go hunting. And it's good. And look, Seattle's defense is really good. Rams defense, at least it's a good front seven. Denver, New England, all of these teams have good defenses, but they don't necessarily, again, feel like they just will automatically shut the door on you. If one of these teams ends up with a 2-score lead and you still have a quarter and a half to play, and they've proven it on both sides that this game is not over. It does not feel like that at all. Now, in the Denver game, if New England gets out to a lead, this is over. No offense, but Jarrett Stidham is not leading a
Stiddy.
The Stiddy City.
Yeah, Stiddy City is not leading a monster second half comeback. That's
do you
want to
talk about? Let's talk about Stiddy next.
He hasn't played.
Well, I know,
in
but
2+ years.
Yeah, but I just be careful. Be careful.
He hasn't played.
He's Tom Brady, basically. I don't know if you've heard.
He was on the Patriots.
But he was.
Yeah.